What's good? This your boy Derek Branch here, footballview360.com, covering the New Orleans Saints. And tonight I'm going to talk about what went down today concerning the New Orleans Saints. They are now 2-0 under the watch of interim head coach Rizzi as they defeated the Cleveland Browns by a score of 35-14 at home at the Season Superdome. They also ruined the homecoming of Jameis Winston, as he is now the quarterback, starting QB of the Cleveland Browns, and they took care of business today. This is by far the best they have looked since that 40-point beat down to the Dallas Cowboys in week 2. But it wasn't that crisp. They weren't that crisp in this game. There was a lot of mistakes being made in this game, but at the end of the day, it's all about the W. They got it cleaned up in the fourth quarter where they just really got after Jameis Winston and to pretty much seal the game for him. Regards to the stats, the numbers here, Derek Carr had a huge night, huge day, throw for 248 yards, 2 touchdowns. MVS Marquez Valdez Scanning had another came through with another huge performance, 2 receptions, 187 yards, 1 touchdown. Taysom Hill was the man of the day, the player of the day in this matchup. This was all over the place. Was all over the place today. Hill led the team in rushing, 7 carries, 138 yards, 3 rushing touchdown. His longest was a 75-yard touchdown that pretty much sealed it for the New Orleans Saints. Alvin Kamara had 16 carries, 67 yards. His longest was an 18-yard run. Right in the receiving category was, like I said, Marquez Valdez Scandon had 2 catches, 87 yards, 1 touchdown on 4 targets. Foster Moreau had 3 catches for 50 yards on 4 targets. Taysom Hill, 8 catches, 50 yards, 10 targets. Jawan Johnson, 3 catches, 30 yards, 1 touchdown. Longest was a 20-yard gain on 3 targets. So huge night for the New Orleans Saints. Huge day, excuse me, for the New Orleans Saints as they you know, defeated the Cleveland Browns by a score of 35 to 14. And huge win as they now improved to 4-7 on the season. They go into a bye week and they will play against the Los Angeles Rams coming off a bye, which will be also be at the Superdome as well. But in regards to this game, man, look, uh, we're being honest. If they would have did this, if Dennis Allen was still the head coach, chances are high that the Saints would have lost this game. They probably would have lost this game and last week's game. Nah, they probably if they would have beat Carolina and Dennis Allen kept his job, he probably would have the Saints would have probably lost this game in the game last week. They just would have. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Um, team got a new direction. New direction under the head coach. You know Rizzi playing a lot better. Playing a lot better than compared to what we did look like a few weeks ago under a different leadership. So that's good. You know what I'm saying? They didn't. There was a lot of things that could have been done a little better. Could have done better this game in the first half of the game. But they got it straightened out once the in the third and fourth quarter. So it is what it is, man. So as for Cleveland, man, look, Jameis Winston had a huge game. He played pretty well in this game. 395 yards, two touchdowns, no picks, took 3 sacks, was 30 of completed 30 of 46 passes, 2 touchdown passes. Nick Chubb, 11 carries, 50 yards. Jerome Full 5 carries, 10 yards. Jerry Judy had a huge day, 6 catches, 142 yards, 1 touchdown. David Njoku had 9 catches, 81 yards, no touchdowns. Elijah Moore, 6 catches, 66 yards, 1 touchdown. Cedric Tillman, 3 catches, 47 yards. Jerome Ford, 4 catches, 29 yards. So they didn't have a bad game overall. Just when it got to third and fourth quarter, the Saints defense just turned it up a notch and it got after Derek Carr. By far, this is the best this is not great, but these last 2 weeks is the best the Saints pass rush has looked. They sacked Kirk Cousins 3 times last week. They sacked Jameis Winston 3 times today. So huge performance by them, but they left a lot out there though. They gave Jameis Winston they prior to doing that, they gave Jameis Winston a lot of opportunities out there to get back into the game. And he was going to do that. He was going to, just, get into a firefight with the Saints. Marshawn Lattimore is not out there. Paulson Debo is not out there. So he really attacked that Saints secondary. Alontae Taylor, they attacked him a lot in this game. Kool-Aid McKinstry was solid. So it's gonna be tough sledding going forward for the Saints defense. Tough sledding. Um, Running against the run today, I thought they was solid. You only give up 50 yards to Nick Chubb, but let's not forget that Nick Chubb is still trying to get back into it, coming off a long layoff from an injury he suffered last season. So the Saints were lucky right there, But they go into a bye this Sunday. No games this week. And then now you get ready for, I would say, the season defining game for you. As you try to get back on track. You play against the Los Angeles Rams, a team that is very much in the hunt for the NFC playoff race, NFC West. Everything is wide open. Nothing is really been situated and settled. A lot of football left to be played, and if the Saints could get a win, um, week after next against the Rams, then we might be on to something. But as for now, man, just go ahead and I'm not telling nobody how to be a fan and all that, but just go ahead and just enjoy the Rizzi experience. Because the team is playing a lot better under him. And I know that once the interim is historical. It always has happened in the past. Once that interim guy comes in, the team tends to get that kind of that motivation push for like 1 or 2 games or possibly 3, and it may turn into something. It might not turn into something. It's very rare that these type of teams get to the playoffs. I know the Raiders did it a few years ago, where they fired John Gruden because of that those emails, and hired the interim guy. I believe he's a special teams coach, and they went to the playoffs with Derek Carr. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't a situation that Derek Carr has not been in before. The first time he's been to the playoffs, it was with a interim head coach. You know, so it might happen again. I'm not. It's a lot to be determined. But that that Rams game is a bad matchup for the Saints. I'm just being honest with you. It is a really bad matchup for the Saints. They got Puka Nakua, and they got Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams, the running back, Higbee, the tight end, Matthew Stafford. Defenses, they don't have Aaron Donald on the defense, but it's a young defense, a young solid defense. Not the greatest out there, but it is indeed a tough matchup for the Saints. And the season, is playing out, having that same type of vibe that it did last year, where the Saints had to play the Rams. The Saints were in a position to like really get back into playoff contention, the NFC South, NFC playoff wild card spot, and we had to play the Rams on a Thursday night, and we all know what happened. Saints got cooked in that game. Now you're back in that same type of scenario again. You 4-7. Could really put yourself back into the playoff mix with a win over the Rams week 13 at the Superdome. I like your chances though, because the Rams are a very beatable team. They lost on Monday night to the Miami Dolphins at home. You went on the road to New England, to the East Coast, barely won that game, barely pulled that game out. So they're a beatable team. They're not at their apex compared to previous years where they will compete for championships. This is a Rams team that is trying to retool, trying to get younger. There was a time where they were trying to get rid of Cooper Cup. Trade rumors came about, but decided to keep him with the team. But that is a tough matchup for the Saints. And when you don't have Marshall Lattimore out there, you don't have Paulson Adebo, it's gonna be tough sled. So and it's gonna have to be all hands on deck in this game. But I do like the Saints' chances. It's just that pass rush has been playing a lot better the past couple of weeks, and you playing against. I mean, Stafford's not a mobile quarterback, so you have it. That gives you some hope right there. You had a solid outing against in the second half against the Browns, taking down Jameis Winston 3 times. You took down Kirk Cousins 3 times a week prior. So you should be ready to go. Eric McCoy. I know Eric McCoy came back today, but had to leave the game because the groin injury flared up again. But according to what Nick Underhill said of New Orleans Down Football, is that the injury is not that serious. So you go into this bye, rest up, recover, get some guys coming back, and the Saints should be ready to go in that game. They should not come out flat in that game. They should not. I'm not saying they're going to win it, but they should not come out in that game and resemble the team that we saw, 4 and 5 weeks ago, 5 to 7 weeks ago. They should, you know. So looking forward to seeing how that's all going to play out, man. But the Saints got a huge win today over the Cleveland Browns. They're now 3-0. They're now 2-0 under the watch of interim head coach Darren Rizzi. Defeat the Browns 35-14. Browns will go to 2-8 on the season. In regards to the NFC South, as crazy as it sounds, the Saints are not out of that as well because of the Falcons dropped another game today. They lost to the Denver Broncos, got blown out 38-7, and now they're fall to 6-5. And with that loss, the Saints are now 2 games out of the NFC South. 2 games out. They're in third place right now. Tampa Bay is in front of them with a 4-6 record. The Bucks might collapse and might have a second half collapse of the season. So it's not over with yet. Still a lot left to be playing for. And if the Saints had just beat the Panthers, imagine where the Saints would be at. If you to beat Carolina, beat the Falcons, beat the Lions, beat the Browns today, you'd be at 5-6. But it is what it is. I'm glad it was a blessing and a curse at the same time because if they lost that game, look what happened. You fired Dennis Allen, and now you got a new head coach, an interim, a different voice at head coach. So looking forward to seeing that's all gonna play out. So there's that. All right, so that's y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. What are your thoughts on today's game? Do you think the Saints can go on a run towards the end of the season? And I'll be back with some more content throughout the week. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.